What you want? What you want?
Hello, everyone. It is Thursday, January 15th. 15th, yeah. Going to reveal the surprise to you guys today. I know I've been teasing it for a while. I've been waiting for something to come in from the mail, but it never came in, so we're waiting for it. So I checked it. It's supposed to be shipped tomorrow, so I figured I've been stringing you guys long enough, so we'll let you know. We're going on a trip. We booked a trip. We usually go every year. This year, if you've been following the blog, you know, we ended up having to put a new roof on the house, so we didn't think that we were going to be able to afford it. But Lee and I, we've cut corners on things, put money away, and we're able to save up enough to where we can afford to go this year. So we're happy on that. I look forward to the trip each year. I need to get away, even just for a week, and it's got to be someplace warm. So if it's someplace warm, guess where we're going?
I'm wishing someday my prince will come.
We're going to Disney. We go every year. The family loves going to Disney. So what I'm going to do with the blog is I'm going to have you guys follow us along. And you'll see what we do and how we prepare for it, the different steps that we go through. That's what I'm doing in this blog. I'll give you some general tips, an overview of what we've done so far and what we're going to do, and some of what we found to be the best practices for being prepared for being down there, because there's so many things and it can cost you so much money if you don't know what you're doing. That's what we're going to be doing. So first thing, basically, you got a plan. You got a plan to go down there. You can do it last minute, but it's going to cost you a fortune. Generally, you want to stop planning about 6 months before you want to go. And that's what we usually do. By planning that far out, you get the lower prices, because as it gets closer, everything goes up. For us, the biggest cost for us to go on the trip is the airline. And everyone knows if you try to book an airline last minute, you're going to pay through the nose. This year here, we're going with a different airline, because we have been going with Southwest. But good evening, everyone. Well, that's going to be it for the video today. Shared some Disney tips with you and basically went over what the surprise is. So we just came back from a Little League meeting, went over some new things for the league for this year. Went really well. Like I always say, follow me on Facebook. You can subscribe to my Twitter feed. Go to my website, which is markplant.com, or subscribe below. Thanks again for watching the video, and stay tuned for more Disney tips videos. Looking at it, when we ended up lining up to get on the plane, there was nobody in the A section. What they did at that point was then they offered anyone who wanted to go up to A's, they could pay $40 more a ticket and move up to A. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. So this year here, we're going to fly JetBlue. Everyone that we've talked to who's flown JetBlue have loved it. They have nothing but good comments about them. It's supposed to be very comfortable. You don't have to book in advance. You have assigned seating. So I'll let you know after our trip's done how we liked JetBlue. The other big expense that you're going to have for down there, or that you want to book furthest out, is the hotel. You want to make sure that you have a room. You don't want to have to sleep in a car when you're down there, basically. To do a hotel, go on the internet, research. Do a lot of research. If you plan on staying on property, book your room. I go through the Disney website. You can go through a travel agent. You can go through one of your club stores like BJ's or Costco or Sam's. They have travel services there. So you can go through them. But myself, I go through their website. And this year here, we've got a pretty good deal. But like I said, book early, because prices change daily. Other thing is, if you're going to need a car, if you decide that you want to have a rental car to be able to get around, not necessarily something that you have to have, because if you are staying on site on Disney, they do have transportation and it's fairly reliable. Myself, I like having a car because we go off site for meals and we go off site to do some shopping. So for us, it's important for us to have a car. Book the car in advance. The further out that you book the car, the cheaper it's going to be. If you're a member of BJ's, Sam's Club, or any of those, use those because you get discounts. We're members of BJ's, so we got a real good discount on our car rental this year. Look on websites, search around. Carrentals.com is a very good website to find the cheapest prices. Mousesavers.com is an excellent resource for everything to do with Disney in Orlando. They have, I constantly go to their website to get tips and information, so check them out. Mouse Savers is really good. The other thing that you need to get, and you want to get, you don't have to get it so much in advance. I mean, you can actually wait, but there's some drawbacks with waiting, are the tickets. Tickets into Disney are very expensive. They're at an average of about $100 a day. So you can look around for cheaper prices for the tickets. You don't have to buy them through Disney. We bought it through a company called Undercover Tourist. We've used them in the past. Very good. But just keep in mind that if you are buying the tickets from someone else other than Disney, you will not be able to use the meal plans that they have. You have to buy both tickets and hotel through Disney in order to get the meal plan. If you're purchasing tickets from a third-party agency, especially down there's a lot of shops that you can buy the tickets from. Be careful. When you're paying $100 to get into the park and you get to the park and they say the ticket's no good, you're not going to be a happy person. So be very careful. Like I said, myself, we use Undercover Tourist. We've used AAA in the past. You can buy the tickets from them. Search around, though, because sometimes Disney themselves are cheaper. I believe last year we bought them from Disney, and they were actually cheaper than the other places. So you want to shop around for everything. With doing the hotel, also, just keep in mind, you don't have to stay on Disney property. There are plenty of hotels in the area that you can stay at. But one of the disadvantages of not staying on Disney property is you don't have the transportation. Disney has extra magic hours. Those are for resort guests only. Matter of fact, one of the nights that we're going to be down there, the Magic Kingdom closes at 10 o'clock. They have magic hours until 2 o'clock. So we have 4 hours of the park where it's going to be probably about a third of the crowd in there. That's the other thing. Also, if you stay off property, you have to pay to park. The last time I checked, I believe it was $15, and that's every day you have to pay. So that's an added cost to you if you stay at another hotel. So just keep that in mind. Once you've booked, you've got everything all set. You got your car, you got your airline, hotel, tickets, everything, you're all set. What you want to do is you want to get your reservations. Now, when I'm saying reservations, it's your food reservations, it's your fast passes. If you're staying on property, you can get fast pass up to 60 days before your first day at the park. If you're not staying on property, you can get them up to 30 days. You want to get fast passes right away because they do fill up quick. And if you wait until the last minute, you won't get on any of the rides. Well, you'll get on the rides, but you'll have to wait in line. You will not get fast passes for them. One of the things that I'll tell you a little bit later in the video, a little trick that we learned, we're not sure whether it works, so we're going to try it this year, is in the past, when you get 3 fast passes, you're allowed during the day. Once you use those up, you can add other ones if they're available. But for those like us, this year we have park hoppers. We're able to go park to park. You could only use the fast passes in one park. Kind of don't like that. It's another thing for another day. But we've read somewhere that once you use your park hoppers in one park, if you go to another park, if you go to one of the kiosks, you can get a fast pass if it's available in that other park. So we're going to try that this year, see if it works. What you want to do once you've booked, you want to get reservations for meals. If you want to go to a sit-down restaurant, you're going to need reservations because you will not get in if you don't have reservations. We have 2 reservations that we booked for the week that we're going to be down there. If you plan on going to the Beauty and the Beast Be Our Guest restaurant, you will need to book that reservation at least 6 months out. I have an app, which I'll show you in a little bit, that I've been trying all different dates. We cannot get them for the dates that we're going. It's too close. I've gone as far as June, and they're still booked. If you plan on going to a particular restaurant or a character breakfast, character dining event, Make sure you book them well in advance. Once you're booked also, I'd say probably about a month before you're leaving for your trip, make sure you have provisions. What I mean by provisions is soap, shampoo, sunscreen. Disney hotels do provide soap and shampoo, but they're cheap. They're not, you know, if you have skin problems or something like that, they're not good. So just plan on bringing a small trial size of whatever soap and shampoo you want to use with you. The other thing that you want to do is make sure that you have some rain gear. It rains in Florida year round, okay? And if you go into one of the parks and it starts raining, you are going to pay an outrageous amount for a poncho in the parks. I believe last year they were $19 for a poncho that I went to Target and bought for $1. So make sure you bring some with you, and so that you're all set. It's a way to save some money. Sunscreen. Now, where I live in the northeastern United States. As a matter of fact, while I'm filming this, it's snowing out right now. I don't think you're going to be able to find sunscreen around here. You may have to wait until you get down there to get sunscreen. Do not buy sunscreen at the parks. You're going to pay 4 to 5 times as much for the sunscreen once you're in the parks. Go to a Walmart, go to Target, go to CVS and buy it there. It's a lot cheaper down there than it is up here, even in the summertime, because they go through it. And you do need sunscreen year-round down there. That sun is very strong all year round. Plan on having comfortable footwear. If you think that you're going to be able to walk around the parks all day in a pair of flip-flops, you are going to be in pain by the end of the day. On average, you're going to probably walk between 4 to 6 miles each day in the park. And your feet are going to kill you by the end of the day, even with comfortable shoes. So make sure you have a pair of shoes that are broken in before you get down there. Just little things that we've learned in the years that we've been going down there. When you're down there, just realize that because you've got the reservations, the hotel, the car, there are other costs. Food is extremely expensive in the Disney parks. An average for my family of 4, it'll cost about $50 just for us to have burgers in the park. So keep that in mind, it's very expensive. There are ways that you can save money in the park. If you go, I know Cosmic Rays, which is in Magic Kingdom, they sell a half a chicken, which is a huge meal. I mean, even for me, it'd be hard for me to eat the whole thing. So what you can do is you can buy that, cut it in half, and share it among 2 people. Drinks are very expensive. A large fountain drink, I think last year was like $3.25, and a 20-ounce bottle of soda was $3.75. It's ridiculous. It's expensive. What you can do, a lot of the restaurants, you can go in and ask for a cup of ice water, and they don't charge you for that. Now, if you have younger children, or if yourself you like peanut butter, you can bring stuff into the park. They allow you to bring food into the park, which is one of the few amusement parks I've ever seen that allows that, but all Disney parks allow it. They will not allow you to bring a cooler in, but you can pack peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, crackers, and snacks so that you don't have to go to the stands, which are very expensive. That's a good idea. One of the things that we do, when we're down there, and one of the additional expenses is souvenirs. If you're going on vacation, you're going to have to buy souvenirs. In the park, they're very expensive. One of the things that my daughters love doing is pin trading. If you're not aware what that is you can buy a set of Disney pins, and if you go up to a cast member that's wearing pins, they have to trade with you. Whatever you give them, they have to trade with you. So they like doing that, but if you go into the parks, the pins are anywhere from $10 to $20 a piece. They're very expensive. So what we do is, before we go to the parks, we'll go to one of the area Walmarts, because they're all Disney authorized stores. They have a whole section of their store that's just Disney products. And we'll buy the pins there. The pins there are $2.95. They do have some up to $10, but they're $2.95 to $5 generally. Okay, and you can they're tradable. They're authorized Disney pins, so you can do that, and it's a way to save money. You can also buy souvenirs there. Other thing that you can do also is, if you have young children and they want to get the characters' autographs, do not buy the autograph books in the park. They are extremely expensive. Walmart, Super Target have them. I think I even saw them we had to stop at a CVS last year. They have them in CVS. So you can get them for a quarter of the price at the stores off-site. Another added expense that you're going to have is, if you've never been to the Orlando area, have a roll of quarters with you, okay? Because you're going to be paying tolls out the wazoo. Anywhere you go, there is a toll. It's regular roads, highways, street, they have tolls everywhere. They hit you as soon as you come out of the airport with a toll. So the other thing to keep in mind with that too, and I got nailed for it, is when you're coming upon a toll, make sure that unless you bought the transponder from the rental company, stay to the right and go. It almost looks like an off ramp, and you're gonna have to go over to the toll plazas or over there, because if you stay on the highway and go right through the fast pass, you're not only going to get hit for the toll, which is up to $2, $2.50. I think I've seen the tolls as high as, but the car rental company also charges you a $25 fee on top of that. So, and you won't know about it until like February or March. They don't hit your credit card until then, and then how do you defend yourself by then? Keep in mind that you do have those tolls. If you're going up into Orlando, say there's a basketball game, you're going to see the Orlando Magic, or you're going to International Drive, keep in mind you're going to have to pay to park. Okay, so, and there is no place that you can park for free that I know of on International Drive, so be prepared to pay for that parking. Gas, depending on where you get it, it ranges up to $1 a gallon. If you're renting a car, remember you need to fill, if you do not buy the gas plan with them, you need to fill up the car. I believe it's within 5 miles of the airport, and you need to make sure you have that receipt, or even if you have a full tank of gas, they're going to charge you for a full tank of gas. So make sure that you do that. Keep that in mind, and don't forget. Some tips that when you're in the park that you may want to think about is beat the crowds. They're early. If you have extra magic hours and you're staying in the resort, get to the park by 8 o'clock. You'll beat the crowds. One of the tips that we use is when you go to the park, especially Magic Kingdom, go to the back of the park first and then work your way forward. Because everyone's going from the front looking at the sights down Main Street and looking at the castle. If you head to the back of the park, hit Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain, and those rides back there, no one's gotten to the back of the park yet. You'll have less of a wait time if you don't have fast passes. You want to plan your day towards the morning and the late afternoon, depending on what time of the year you go. Because it is hot in Florida, it is humid in Florida. Unless you're going from December, January, and February, once you hit noontime in there, it's going to be 90 degrees and 90% humidity. So unless you want to be trudging through that heat, you might want to plan your day around that. So plan on going and seeing the shows. If you're at Hollywood Studio, go see The Little Mermaid. If you're at Animal Kingdom, go see Nemo between 11 and 1. And you'll be in an air-conditioned building, and you're not, out in the blazing sun. With transportation, use the Disney transportation. Right now, downtown Disney is being transformed into Disney Springs. If you have a rental car, we learned this last year. If you have a rental car, do not drive to downtown Disney. Take the buses there. There's no parking, and it's all construction, and you're going to be walking about a half a mile at least from where you park to get into downtown Disney. Keep eye on the park hours. Plan your days, what park you're going to, depending on the park hours. Remember, if you're staying at a Disney resort, look for the extra magic hours. The crowds are going to be so much less during those hours. Another way to save money on food is during that time from 11 to 1, if you're not going to a show, you have a rental car, hop in the car and drive up to International Drive. There is so much food off-site, and it's a lot cheaper. You'll spend at least half as much. They have all the main chains, Burger King, McDonald's, there's Ponderosa up there, and they do have some high-end steakhouses and sushi restaurants, so there's plenty up there. International Drive is also a destination you might want to look at because within the next couple of years, they're supposedly building the world's tallest roller coaster there. And right now they're in the process of building a huge Ferris wheel, kind of similar to the London Eye over in London, England. So that's going to be a destination because they got Ripley's Believe It or Not. They got Wonderworks up there. A ton of restaurants, ton of souvenir shops. You could actually spend probably half a day just going up and down International Drive. That if you have a rental car, that's a place you may want to. If you want getting Disneyed out, you want to get away from Disney for a while, take a ride up and look at International Drive. There's a lot of fun stuff up there. There's actually a couple of small amusement parks there too, with go-karts, and they have one. We call it the rubber band ride. They strap you. It's like a reverse bungee where it shoots you up in the air and you bounce up and down. There's options. There's other places that you can go. When you're at the parks, this is my tips on things to see. Okay? Magic Kingdom. You gotta go Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain, Space Mountain. Those are the main 3 rides that you've got to see. The Jungle Cruise is awesome. It's funny. It's corny, but it's funny. The Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, ask a cast member about George. That's all I'm going to say on that. Those of you that know, you'll understand what I'm saying. When you're at Magic Kingdom for food, there's so many different places to eat. You go from the little snack stands that are all over the place, which have my daughter's favorite churros, to sit down fancy 5-star restaurants. The Crystal Palace is one. There's actually a restaurant on the top of the Contemporary Hotel that's a 5-star restaurant. But realizing Disney is very expensive. Our favorites, there's 2 restaurants that we love. They're cafeteria-style restaurants that quick in and quick out that we absolutely love. The first one is Cosmic Rays. That's over by the go-karts, right in Tomorrowland. Cafeteria style, but what they do have is they have condiment stand where you put on your own toppings. They have grilled onions, mushrooms, cheeses. They have lettuce, pickles, everything. So we like that. And then the other one that we like is called Pecos Bills, and that's over in Frontierland, basically right in front of Splash Mountain. So that's we're usually there by supper time, so we'll usually hit supper there. Different shows that you want to see. Magic Kingdom has them all. Parade. They have a new festival parade. We've seen videos of it. It is awesome. They've got the Maleficent dragon with fire breathing out. They've got Peter Pan. They've got it's everything. All the princess characters are there. Mickey's there. So I believe that's at 3:00 every day. The other thing is, off the top of my head, I cannot remember what it's called. I'm blanking on it. But where they project images onto the castle. And it's set to music, and it's all the Disney cartoon characters and princesses and everything. And it is incredible how they do that on the castle. Okay? The last thing, and it's usually the last thing of the night, you gotta see it at least once from the front of the castle. We've actually found a better place to watch it from behind, but you gotta see it from the front, is the Wishes fireworks show. That's what Disney's famous for. I remember being 8 years old and watching Wonderful World of Disney on Sunday nights and seeing the fireworks over the castle, and from then I wanted to see it. That's something I had always wanted to see. So those are the things you want to see at Magic Kingdom. Epcot, 2 main rides, Soarin' and Test Track. Can only get a fast pass for 1, and I don't like that. That bothers me. But those for rides, that's the 2. You got to hit those. There's some hidden rides in Epcot that you got to look for too. In the Mexican pavilion, there's a Grand Fiesta Tour and Back with Donald Duck. It's a nice, dark, quiet. It's nice and cool in their ride, and it's a good place to relax for a minute. They have Figment, which is over in Innovations Pavilion, and that's a nice, quiet ride, and it's pretty funny. And it's got a catchy tune. The main thing that we like about Epcot is the World Showcase, where you go to all the different countries. I believe it's 8 countries in the World Showcase. They have the different foods, the different beers. The people in each showcase are from those countries. So my girls they'll talk to them and they'll learn different things, and I find it really interesting. So the World Showcase is something you definitely have to see. For food, really we always end up at the American Pavilion in Epcot. It just happens that way. So, I mean, I haven't seen much as for food in Epcot. For the shows, it's Illuminations. That's the show that they have. Now, mind you, that each individual country puts on shows throughout the day, so you might want to catch those, but the big show is Illuminations. It's fireworks, lighting, fire in the middle. There's a lake in the middle of Epcot. It's wonderful. You have to see it. Okay, so when you go to Animal Kingdom, one thing with Animal Kingdom to keep in mind, okay, Animal Kingdom closes at sunset. Okay, the animals are not out after dark. The whole park is based on the animals, so once it gets dark, you're not going to see the animals, and there's not many rides in this park. Biggest ride, Mount Everest. Okay, that's the big one. It's a roller coaster with the Yeti in it. That's the big ride. You want to get a fast pass for that. They have the Kilimanjaro safaris, okay, where you actually go out in and see the animals. You drive right through the animals. You have giraffes walking right up to the trucks. That's well worth going to see. And then the other thing that's really good there is the Cali River Rapids. You get onto this round raft and you get soaked. So that's a really fun ride. For food in Animal Kingdom, very sparse. One thing I don't like, and it's a personal thing, is when you get a drink at Animal Kingdom, they don't want plastic straws. Everything's paper. And I understand why they do it, because the animals could eat it, get sick, or die from it. So I understand that, but drinking out of a plastic straw, just don't like it. I mean, drinking out of a paper straw. Ugh. So, but those are the things to see there. Now, Hollywood Studios needs to improve, because that park is actually dying. They're closing all their rides. In the past couple of months, they've closed the backlot tour. They closed, what was the other thing? They closed something else there. And nothing's replaced it. So something's got to be going in there. When you do go to Hollywood Studios, it's 2 rides you got to see there. You got to go on there is the Hollywood Tower of Terror and the Aerosmith roller coaster. Both right next to each other. Really good rides. So you want to get fast passes for them. As for shows, Hollywood Studios is all shows. They have the Voyage of the Little Mermaid. They have, they have street performers all day. It's set up as Hollywood in the 20s and 30s. You know, the golden age of Hollywood. So you want to check that out. As for food, this year here we have a reservation in Hollywood Studios for the 50s drive-in diner. You actually sit in a car and watch a movie while you eat your meal. So this first year we're trying that. And then there's also for a snack, there's 2 snacks at Hollywood Studios you've got to try. When you come in the main entrance, I would say where the hat is, but the hat's not being taken down right now. But right in the center of it, there's a little cart off to the side that sells glazed peanuts, glazed nuts. They are tremendous. They are very good. So try those. And then right next to the ABC Commissary, there's a little bookstore in there. Go in there. They have carrot cake. It's like a carrot cake whoopie pie. Incredibly good. Very good. So those are 2 things that you want to check out. Other things that we haven't done in the park, we've never been to the water parks because we usually go down in the wintertime, and I don't want to pay for the parks if it's going to be rainy or cold down there. Usually one of the 2 parks are closed. So I've never been, but they look like they're fun. Maybe in my younger days I would have been able to keep up running up and down the stairs and doing that, but I don't know about now. The other thing to keep in mind down in Florida is the weather. Okay, it's going to rain. You're going to get rain down there. You got to rough through it, because usually it doesn't rain all day. It'll rain for 20 or 30 minutes, and then that'll be it. So just keep in mind that. Like I said, I just wanted to give you guys some tips, some hints on things that we do in Disney, different things, the way we go about it. I'll be following this right up into our trip, and even while we're on our trip, I'm going to be sending out the blog. So, follow us through there. You'll see the different things that we do while we're at the park and how we set things up. So, thanks for watching, and I still got some more daylight left here, so we're going to do a little more things today. So I'll continue the blog, and I'll get back with you guys in a little bit. Good evening, everyone. Well, that's going to be it for the video today. Shared some Disney tips with you, and basically went over what the surprise is. So we just came back from a Little League meeting, went over some new things for the league for this year. Went really well. Like I always say, follow me on Facebook. You can subscribe to my Twitter feed. Go to my website, which is markplant.com, or subscribe below. Thanks again for watching the video, and stay tuned for more Disney tips videos.
What you want?